for Gary Fogel and Larry Jolly. We're going to make them stand up here for a long time and tell you everything they've ever done, good, bad, indifferent. Delighted to have Greg Stone, who's our District 10 Vice President from the Academy, here with us. Our Torrey Pines Gulls President, Chuck, is here, of course, other dignitaries and friends. Thanks everyone for coming. So what we're going to do is I'll give a little bit of a background for Gary. We'll make the presentation to him, hear a few words, and then repeat for Larry. Fair enough? Yeah, good. So let's dig in. I got 10 pages of stuff here. Get comfortable. Okay, so first of all, let me say I'm honored to introduce my good friend Gary Fogel for this. Gary is a very active, very energetic guy, very hard to keep up with, and he's always up for a soaring safari. These are not Hall of Fame traits necessarily, but they're one of the things that make Gary a good guy. He's also always ready to help anyone build, fly, or organize something, whatever needs to be organized, and you'll hear a list of those kinds of things as we go through this. So we'll dig right in. He helped conceive and establish the National Model Aviation Heritage Program. One of the fruits of that is making this site an AMA heritage site and a city historical site and a state historical site and a national historical site. Of course, working with his dad Larry, who we honored here last year or a few months ago. This is the plaque for evidence, and the fact that we're still flying here as modelers, and full-scale aviation is also evidence of that. Gary has served as a trustee of the National Soaring Museum for full-scale history. He served for 6 years on the AMA FAA Standards Committee. You'll recall that when the FAA started floating ideas for how to have the national airspace managed between drones and RC and everything else, he did a lot of work on that front on all our behalf. He still serves on the AMA competition and FAI committee, so getting the rules right, making sure they're synchronized with the international rules. Gary is an associate fellow of the American Institute of Aeronautics and Astronautics and serves on their history committee. Gary is an adjunct faculty at San Diego State University in aerospace, in which role he introduces a bunch of students, 100 plus, 150 every year, includes RC stuff. And right after this event, we will have students here to buddy box fly with us as a further hands-on introduction, all organized by Gary. Gary is, of course, the current Torrey Pines Gulls Vice President, which is a very busy role, and we're grateful for him to do it. Gary has received the Institute of Aeronautics and Astronautics Outstanding Contribution to the Community Award. He was the TPG Modeler of the Year in 2000 on the Perpetual Trophy. League of Silent Flight Lee Gray Award winner for Outstanding Service to Soaring, and an AMA Fellow. So he's worked on all these committees, organized all these things. I could go on, but that's the high points, I suppose. He's also a real historian and also the club historian officially. Real historian. He's authored 4 books on the history of motorless flight, including a great book about soaring right here at Torrey Pines called Wind and Wings. If you haven't read it, I highly encourage you. 50 journal articles on aeromodeling. He took on the task of looking at the Perpetual Trophy with 50 or 55 illustrious gold members on it and writing an article about each and every one of them. Numerous articles on the history of aviation focusing on motorless flight, and organizes donations of actual artifacts to the AMA Museum. Finally, Gary's a great pilot. He's a great builder. He flies multiple disciplines, DLG, F3L, cross-country, slope. There's a Tercel back there. Anyone see it? Want to hold it up? It's a yellow and white airplane that he built in high school. Absolutely beautiful. He is in the club and elsewhere a legendary thermal reader. He is a deadly slope combat adversary. And he's the best flying buddy and contest timer and personal cheerleader I know. So that's Gary. Greg, if you'd like to present the box right behind you is for Gary.
Yes.
Okay.
Because I'm not going to be able to hold the papers and do that right. All right, just a couple things here. Gary's made equally remarkable contributions through his path and has taken different form from Larry. Gary's dedicated himself through preserving and promoting the history of aeromodeling through his research, writing, and educational outreach. He's connected our past to our present with extraordinary passion and expertise. He ensures that the achievements, stories, and lessons from our hobby are not forgotten, but shared, celebrated, and learned from. His induction today is recognition of his role as both historian and ambassador for model aviation.
Awesome.
Thank you and congratulations. John, get in here. Let's get a picture with. Oh. Yeah.
Perfect. John, you're so tall.
Deal with it.
Okay. All good?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Craig.
Yep.
Congratulations, Gary. Well deserved.
Thank you. I've got a couple words.
Yes.
Just a second. I got some words. I got some words. All right. This is my first time to ever say thank you to the Academy. I don't think I'll ever get that chance again, so I got to say. Thanks to Rich Hansen and Greg Stone of the AMA, appreciate that. Thanks to the crafty TPG members who nominated me behind my back. That would be Chuck, John, my wife Joanne, and Steve New, who couldn't be here, but I appreciate that. Thank you. Wasn't expecting it. My family has shown incredible patience with me. My wife Joanne especially. It's not easy to put up with a Gary Fogel and have a garage full of model airplanes and an attic full of model airplanes and sometimes the kitchen full of model airplanes. So I appreciate Joanne. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, round of applause for Joanne. My brother David, of course, he was a TPG member early on, became junior national champion in 1977, and then decided to hang it up and go into full scale right away so I could come in underneath him and do model airplanes because that was cool. My mom and dad, of course, were amazing to me and showed incredible patience and do anything you want to do and have fun out here. This was my playground as a kid. I think, given I'm in now and my father was in last year, that we're the first father-son team in the AMA Hall of Fame, which is totally cool. And I think my dad would have been totally proud of that. So, very cool. I started flying here when I was 3 in 1971 with Free Flight. I soloed in 77 when I was 9. And had the great fortune of flying at flying sites all around the world. Of course, only a few of them compared to this. This is pretty amazing when the wind's going. But I got to meet a lot of great people with great diverse interests, especially club members like the Torrey Pines Gulls, academics, aerospace engineers, concrete truck drivers, welders, World War II vets, artists, lawyers, bankers, car dealers. You get to meet everyone because they all understand that this is really magical and fun. And that grows your network and grows your friend base, which is great. So I had a lot of pleasure in knowing a lot of people like amazing Larry Jolly, being inspired by people like Larry, that you'll hear about in just a second. I had the pleasure of interviewing a lot of the pioneers that flew here in the 1930s, like John Robinson and Woody Brown and Paul McCready, and being inspired by their approach too, and risking their lives to go see what's out there and have fun and set records and do things like that, which was all inspiring to me as well. Had the fortune of being a member in many RC clubs. Too many to list, but I'll list a few. Torrey Pines Gulls, Torrey Pines Scale Soaring Society, the International Scale Soaring Association, which I helped set up, Vintage RC Sailplane Association, Peninsula Silent Flyers up in LA, Ukaipa Hiking and Soaring Club, Joint Military RC Flyers, San Diego Orbiteers, and more. And each of those has its own different fan base and user base that I got to know, which was great. And I've had the great fortune of teaching many others to fly, like I hope to later today. That was from when I was a little kid, because I got, like, you got to try this is so cool, to my days in PhD at UCLA when I was teaching other students in grad school, like, let's go out and go fly instead of being in the lab. And now, most importantly, at San Diego State, which I have a lot of fun doing. There's many other people that I think are very deserving of being in the Hall of Fame. Mark Smith, who's crazily not in the Hall of Fame, absolutely deserving. Dave Thornburg, another person that I can't believe is already not in the Hall of Fame, but should be. Steve New, Don Edberg, Al Doig. I could go on and list like many other Torrey Pines Gulls members that ought to be in the Hall of Fame. So I appreciate that you've nominated me for this and that I'm in. That's great, but I feel like I still have a lot more to do. And nominating a lot of those people is what I'm going to do. You've set me on a new mission. So thanks again to the AMA and the selection committee, and I feel the honor's premature a little bit, but I'll continue to earn it as I go forward. So thank you.
Okay.